Things on your house this morning, wherever you may be. Welcome, one, welcome all to the morning show on Tuesday. It's all you fans and dual brainiacs because it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. Dual brain shirt on, custom magic wear coming to you here on the channel. Good morning, folks. Super stoked to bring you folks this show, amazing show here today. I'm your host, Brody. This is some morning magic stocks and morning magic talks here on the channel. Thank you all for joining me here this morning. It's Tuesday, January 31st. We're just at the last little bit of January. January's about to just disappear into nothingness after today. It's Tuesday. Let's have a good one, shall we? Just take a minute to arrive here on the channel with you folks today. Who have we got here alive in the house? Mr. None other than the Jon Favreau lookalike himself, Mr. Richie Dubs. Thanks for joining. Twiddlers in the house, my man, Michael Superbacker. Thanks again for having my back once again this morning. A blessing on your house, my friend. All are welcomed here on the channel. It's going to be a good one. Friends and family watching from around the world. And to those of you watching on the juice. The juice is in the house. And the house is in the juice. I'm Brody. I'll be your host this morning. I'm going to be on just past the hour here this morning, giving you a little bit of morning Magic the Gathering stocks and some Magic the Gathering talks. If you're new to Magic, this is a place where you should just sit down, buckle up tight, and get ready for to be amazed this morning. It's we do just about everything here on the channel. We're here for another episode, taking a look at the stock prices, doing some interesting deck techs, and we'll be reviewing some cards and giving you great reading material for your commute to work. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to stick around to the end of the show. As always, we'll be going over the comments and any questions that you guys leave in the comment section. So hit that notification bell and hope the stream goes well. Today's episode, we're going to be talking stock prices and how they're affecting the game. Also, we're going to take a look this morning just to warm up a touch like we do here on the stock desk. Let's have a look at some AI generated magic cards. It feels all right to look at some of those AI magic cards. Richie Dub says, I having trouble sleeping, are you, Richie Dubs? That's too bad. Apparently I sleep every other night. Morning, Michael. Brody, how are you, bud? Good to see you. I've been sleeping in, laid off for 5 more weeks unless the groundhog is a prick. I hope my first script last night for a long time, stories through magic cards. I like the stories through magic cards. The story about the cat and the little animals. It made me, I had to watch the whole thing twice. I did. No joke. Glad to see we can inspire some content creators out there to produce a little bit of magic and say hello to the world. That's pretty much how I got started. I got sick of sitting on the sidelines, so I started a channel to talk to you folks and have a voice in this crazy mixed up world of Magic the Gathering. It is a fun time. There's a lot going on in the world with Wizards laying off employees. 1,000 people about to lose their jobs if they haven't already. We're going to take a look at the Hasbro stock and how that's changed. What's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks? People can try to make a guess at Hometown Magic. If Hometown Game Store, Hometown Magic, if you're watching, interesting stream for you last night. I enjoyed it. People are trying to speculate on what kind of strategy Wizards is going to be using to get into our pockets next. What's it going to be? Is it going to be some more fancy, flashy reprints? Is it going to be another Masters set? Is it going to be a new product line? What is it going to be that's going to wield their way and warm their way into our hearts, minds, and wallets, ultimately, in order to get us to buy another Hasbro stock? We know another Magic product, another WotC product to push up that Hasbro stock. Let's take a look at the stock desk here this morning. Johan Matuzzi is in the house. Thank goodness you joined us today. I was about to cancel the show. Brody was about to throw in the towel because Johan ain't here. But then, nevertheless, he shows. He shows from Sweden. Another friend, fan of the game, who loves the game as much as I do. Appreciate you for stopping by, Johan, as always. Let's get the chat running. It's good to have a little bit of chat and discussion on these cards. Appreciate you folks for joining. Johan Matuzzi. Richie Dubs wrote his first script last night. MTG also made a separate MTG channel. Oh, the price has fallen. Oh, how the prices have fallen. Hasbro stock, the price is falling. Well, we are still waiting on this hill. We've copped a SWAT at the stock desk. This stock desk is bolted down tight. It's not going anywhere. I've dug it in. It's got a pillar that goes beneath the ground, 642 feet, straight down from here. It's bedded into bedrock, and then it's cemented into rebar, and then we're staked our claim right here on the hill at the stock desk. We'll be sitting here watching this Hasbro price indefinitely until we see some movement, either one way or another. And like we've been talking before, this sucker has hit once upon a time an all-time high of $120 going back to 2019. That is just pre-panic. I guess nobody could have thought anything bad was going to happen. Then poof, down to this level of support around the $50 mark, and we've touched it once again right about here. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen with our fourth quarter earnings report. And unique New York to see what's going to happen if this sucker's going to punch through this $45 to $50 resistant line and go poof. Do I ever follow box prices? You know, I'm not very good at it, but there is a site that Coach brought up to me called Dawn Glare. Now, I will say I think that's where we would go to do it. Check the box prices. In fact, we've got all kinds of things we can take a look over here on the Dawn Glare site. I think this is where we go for the box prices. Price changes, formats, more, lands, sets, EV, visualizer. Where do you go to do it? Let me know. Box prices, interesting. I'll tell you, I was following box prices. Another place to go for the box prices is here. Let's go. Do you want to know? Okay, so let me give you the top picks for Brody to be buying. This card right here. You want to buy the Black Lotus? This is the card. I'm calling it now. We got some tips of the day, or anyone who said maybe chat. Eyes that Brody's got his eyes on. The Black Lotus, but the oversized Black Lotus, okay? Comes in this Scry magazine, number 15. Now, if you want my advice, you want to get the good one, get the sealed one in the package. Get the Scry magazine, number 15, in the package. This is the one that comes with the oversized promo. You want to get the one sealed in the package, if you can find it, all right? Now, for $949, you can get yourself the sealed in the package, or you can just get the beat up oversized promo. So I think what you want to do is get the Scry magazine, the whole magazine with the Netrunner cards and the oversized promo. Top items that Brody's got his eye on is this right here. It's no lie. I mean, you just this is what I've got my sights set on. Other than that, Empty booster boxes, incredible. There's one from Legends boxes, and then if you go here, MTG booster box, are we talking new prices, new boxes, or sealed boxes? Because we can split this up from highest to lowest. We can see just what's selling. We got a brand new box of Portal 3 Kingdom for $54,000, $243.80. Italian Legends, we got foreign booster boxes of, we got the $54,000 Portal 3 Kingdom box. I didn't realize this stuff was so much. You can get yourself a third edition French black bordered. This is 32,000. Prices from high to low here sorted this morning. Sealed box and boxes for sales on stream, so I'm always looking. Exactly. If you want to buy a Legends box, Italian Legends, 21,000 bucks. And then here's where it gets interesting. This one, the revised booster box, 20,000 bucks for the revised booster box. Tempest, 20,000. There's a few of them. There's a bunch of revised booster boxes. This stuff is all starting to show up on the market. I mean, maybe people have a little bit more out there than they thought. Now is the time to get rid of it. 17,000 for this here revised booster box. You can get your hands on it. Tempest, Italian Legends, ultra rare Ice Age booster. Do you want to get a case of Ice Age? This is how it used to come. Case of Ice Age. What sets are you looking for, Twiddler? The newer stuff? And then this is another interesting place to take a look here on eBay as well. I do like checking out the box prices. This is sort of where I go to check box prices just to see what these high-end boxes are doing. There's a case of 10 Fallen Empires. Anybody want a case? There's some Urzas here. There's a bunch of stuff. 8,000. These have actually, Urza's Legacy boxes have come down. They're sitting at 8,050 and 9,000 respectively. Mirage is down to 8,000. Seems really high. Like these things all took a bump up in price not that long ago on the last run up. So a Mirage booster box was sitting at like 4,000 to 5,000 at the last run up. Now I see it trying to get some price anchoring happening here at 79. I think that's way overpriced. Urza's Legacy box. These boxes have been sitting here for some time. 79, 74, and 7,000 for the Urzas. There's even some Homelands on here. Tempest, 6,000 for Tempest. Stronghold, 5,000. Some of these. Here's another Urza's Destiny box for 5,000. So some interesting stuff. Here are some of the higher end stuff. Mercadian Mask booster boxes, Tempest, and the Dark. You can actually get an Italian Dark box right now for 5,000. Oh wait, Richie Dub says 21K. I'll take 8, please. Right? Richie Dub says, I mean, on my streams, I try to stay in the line with current sales trends so I don't overcharge. I like that. Oh, that's a good point. I'm always looking for the most recent sets. High end, I'll check for myself and put away. I'm more looking for stuff to add to my games. Good point. I find that if I was doing it your way, I would just assume that you are probably trying to buy cases from either stores that have deals on the product or maybe eBay sales. Or I guess you don't have a contract per se with any particular store. You're not beholden to any one particular store. Magic Renaissance. Interesting. Never seen this before. Let's take a look at, anybody seen this before? Magic Renaissance? Does anyone know what look at this. This is German Renaissance booster. Wow. Interesting box here. Magic Renaissance. Die Zusement-Kunft. All right. 8-card booster packs. Magic the Gathering Renaissance. I wonder what the cards look like. kind of interesting. Appreciate it. Digital flyer, obviously. I'd max my CC card for Arabian Nights box. I should do it, right? Well, Brain and I saw an Arabian Nights box. It was interesting to see one live and in person at the MTG 30 show. It really was. $450,000 is sort of the price that the guy threw out there. If if you can believe it, that's a lot of money for a box of Magic cards. So eBay, where else can we go to check the prices of Magic cards? Like we got eBay sold listings. Do you like checking the prices of Magic cards, box prices? If I'm looking for a particular set, I'll check eBay and I'll check vendors to see if they got any sales on it. We did pretty good on Kaldheim, $95 Canadian a booster box. I'll have to look back, but we got a case of Kaldheim on special. So I like to wait for those things to come on special. Also, I used to buy a case of every product when it came out, falling off around Ixalan because that's when things got kind of crazy. Unfortunately for me, the rate at which Wizards puts out product, I can't quite keep up. So I sort of went back to just picking and choosing the sets that I like to pick up. Can't buy one of everything. I used to like to buy a case or a couple of boxes and sit on one for long term because I know if I wanted to buy it later, I would be likely paying more. But that seems to be changing in the world of Magic the Gathering and sealed product. Sealed product doesn't seem like a safe haven if you're buying into it to make money long term these days. I'll say that it seems risky. I have, from what I've heard, with more chatter about sealed products and people avoiding pack openings and buying new products, most people are sort of gravitating towards the purchase of singles, rounding out collections for foil cards, and avoiding new products altogether. So if you want to enjoy, this is another thing why I like the Twiddler show is because if you want to open some packs and have some fun and make a game out of it, that's a good place to do it. Like, why would you go to the store and open up a couple of packs when you could open them live on stream and have a little fun with your friends? So the internet has changed things. The private pack openings and the private box openings are great, except when you want people to see what you hit and you're opening the cards by yourself. So that's a good reason to head on over to Twiddler's channel and check out the show Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you've got a link for us this morning, Twiddler, please do leave it in the comments section below, and I'll try to circle back on that later on this morning when we're just past the hour and we rounded things out. Appreciate you. Long as you're willing to wait 5 to 10 years for the prices to increase on seals. I know. I realize that. We've got a few sealed products here. 5 to 10 seems like a long time. We got some of the original Throne of Eldraine collectors boosters. Thought that was going to be a special set. Turns out it is pretty special, but then it became less special the more collector sets that were printed. If you don't like chasing the charts and checking the prices of Magic cards, let me do it for you. I'm here every single day, Monday to Friday. Dual brains, dual brain shirt on because it's Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we're rocking our dual brain unofficial, unlicensed merchandise. Something you can only get from the Dual Brain channel or over at this channel. Just to remember, patrons, there are plenty of patron spots available. If you're interested in joining my patron, please do so. And after 6 months, you are eligible to claim your Brody shirt. And we've got some other interesting gifts that we like to make sure we spoil our Freetreons and Patreons. We take care of the Patreons over here on the stock desk. Let's take a look. Let's warm up this morning. Let's see what's cooking over at the Robo Rosewater site. we're going to take a look at some AI generated magic cards this morning. Warming up with you folks, 4 viewers. Thanks for that link there, mister. Let's check it out here today. Give me a pass or a fail if you think these cards are worth cutting the mustard. Just a little bit of little bit of rules here out first for the AI. If there's any gibberish on the card whatsoever, we just fail it right away and move on. In this fast and ever-changing world, we don't have time for gibberish. So let's get right into it. Pair and growth. Pair and growth. All right, a red legendary artifact. What do you guys think about this card? It's a red and 2. All creatures have no maximum hand size. Whenever a creature you control attacks, sacrifice that creature. Addendum. If you cast this spell from your hand, exile pair and growth. Horrible. Horrible. Not even close. You gotta fail it. There's no way. All the buzzes for this here this morning. Pair and growth. Is there a card named gibberish? There should be. These guys would nail it. The pair and growth. All creatures don't have hand size anyways. And why would you want this if you have to sacrifice a creature every time you attack? Terrible card. It's got nothing but downside on it. I can't see why you'd want to hit yourself and stick needles in your eyes with this card, but maybe the AI is going to make Magic the Gathering worse for us, which intent might be doing us a favor because WotC can't seem to get it wrong enough. Another full art planes. Look at the landscape on some of these cards. The art is epic. I like it. Ed's in the house. Mr. Dual Brain himself. I would suggest taking a trip over to the Dual Brain channel later on this morning. He's always got something cooking over there. My man, Mr. Ed. And I have to tell you, folks, Ed's been cooking something up over on the Dual Brain channel. And it involves yours truly. So here's what we're going to do. I think the number is 16. I think we're doing 16 inserts, 16 art cards for the Dual Brain channel. So if Brody's going to be doing some black and white Brody art for Ed over at the Dual Brain channel. Ed's going to be making some custom made packs as far as I understand. It's something that will be a little bit of an old school type of product for players who like putting together interesting gifties to give away Magic the Gathering related. You can buy into those. I'm not sure how he's doing it over there, whether there's it's available to patrons or if it's available to everybody, but I would check out over the Dual Brain channel for a little more info. But Brody has officially we've come to some terms and agreements here. We've hashed out some details. Brody's going to do some art for those packs for Ed over the Dual Brain channel. So if you want to get something interesting for your collection that's got a touch of Brody art in it, that's one way to do it. I know I've had a few requests for art and I never thought I would. So it's something that really surprised me, but I'm happy to do it, and it's an honor and a privilege, my good sir, to take part in something so interesting. What do you think of this planes? Can we give it a rating? We gotta pass it. We like the planes. 15 packs for one for me. Haha, that's the plan. Brain's doing 15 packs. Okay, so if you want to hear more details about these special packs that Ed over the Dual Brain channel is doing, that include a custom Brody art card that will be inserted in there amongst many other fine collectible Magic the Gathering wares, please head over to the Dual Brain channel. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll try and get a little bit more information here on the public foray this morning. Let's take a look at this. I got to pass this card. This art looks amazing. I'll give this a pass. I definitely will. It's good enough. I like the lightning on the plane and the rain that feels mainly on the plane. 1 in 10 packs will have your art. 150 packs total. So there'll be 15 are pretty good odds. And these are going to be like this is going to be no poo-poos. This is going to be some pretty interesting stuff that you want to get your hands on. Let's roll this. Let's roll this. The Flowstone. Flowstone Wayfarer. 3/4 creature spirit for 1 black and 5. Indeed. Flying 3/4, champion a Maunonarity counter from Flowstone Wayfarer as though it had haste. Unfortunately, this is quick as it started. Here's where it ends. The Flowstone Wayfarer can't be friends. We don't like this card. It doesn't do magic. It's got just a bunch of gibberish on it, and we just can't have it. Sorry. Let's move on. Dual Brain says 1 in 10 packs will have one of the Brody art cards, and there's 150 packs total, so pretty good odds. 1%. Indeed, there'll be something interesting. Graded cards. What? Graded cards? A couple of slabs, a couple of OG. What? All right, we're getting a little bit more information here. There's going to be some graded cards, a couple of slabs in there, some OG pack redemptions, ooh, some Brody art, and a couple of Twiddler game entries. Ooh la la. So the collaboration is real, and that's uh Team Awesome and the cool kids. We're taking over Magic the Gathering. Look out, everybody in the space. I'm telling you, there's plenty of room for everybody to have a good time, and we are no exception. We're here. Let's be clear. We're going to be having a little bit of fun with this. It's too good to be true. It's too good to pass up. How about this card right here? False God. I saw this card and I was like, what? This human Efreet? What are we going to do for the false god? This seems like something that when I read it, a few Arabian Night cards in there. MTG get me, Bob. It's all right. Let's just take a minute to arrive here on the channel with each other. Everybody who is joining us this morning, amazing fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as I do. Let's just take a minute for ourselves. It's fine. It's totally fine. Excuse me. MTG Gaming Bob's in the house. Thanks for joining us here this morning on the stock desk. Check out this AI generated magic card. Can we pass this one? It seems OP, but check it out. A black and 1 for a 2/2. Human Efreet. When false god enters the battlefield, when false god when Brody spits the marbles out of his mouth. When false god enters the battlefield, put target creature you control onto the battlefield. This creature has flash right on it. I guess the card flash. It doesn't have flash, so you can only cast it when you have priority or whenever you could cast a creature. It seems fine to me. For 2 mana, when it enters the battlefield, put target creature you control onto the battlefield. It's got Goryo's Vengeance right on it. It's got it straight from your hand. Is this too powerful? I could see this being something that Wizards would cast. It does nothing. It does nothing. When enters, put target creature you control onto the battle. It does nothing. Okay. It does nothing. Good. Bob's not being fooled. Okay, put target creature you control onto the battlefield. It's all if you control it, it's already on the battlefield. Don't be duped. These are a little too creative here. It does nothing. See, I'm glad you showed up, Bob. Brody was just about to buy a bridge from somebody in Brooklyn and was just about to test drive a slightly used car off the lot with this false god card. Put target creature you control on the battlefield. I mean, when I read this, I think, well, it's got to be from your hand, but no. I don't know what this art is, but either way, this card does nothing. We can't accept it. Sorry. So nothing here today that's new in the world of AI. The AI is letting us down. Poison, the Walker. This is sort of where we left off last week. Will of the Council. Starting with you, each player votes for Death Goblin. Yeah, okay, just vote for that Death Goblin. This Planeswalker with no loyalty, 2 green and 1, doesn't do much. Boo. Boo earns. No way. Nobody likey. Doesn't do anything. Well,
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
Let's just check the stock desk here this morning. I'd like to see if there's any new articles for you folks, because that's what we do here. We like to warm up just a touch here. I like to put a little bit of ha-ha in your cup. Let's feel our way around the stock desk this morning. Yes, now we have something for you folks today. Check it out. Where are they now? An article from Ryan Cole. Thanks to Ryan Cole over at the stock desk for providing us a little bit of conversation for the Magic Talks here this morning. I really appreciate Ryan for writing us Where Are They Now? January 2023 on this edition. A couple of last year's winners going back to the dark. And we'll talk about some equipment, some original Kamigawa, and see how those are fizzling out. It was about a year ago today to the minute, to the cent, when we saw the buyouts of the dark starting to happen. Does anybody remember that? The dark buyouts? Did anybody get themselves any copies of the dark cards when all the dark cards were getting bought out? We're going to cover that here today on the stock desk. Everyone diving into the world of MTG finance for the first or the 15th or the 100th time, we welcome you to the stock desk. As always, here we are. But where are these cards now? In order to be showcasing several weekly winners from the last year that have lost their luster, lovers of older legacy era cards will enjoy this one. Without further hemming and hawing, I present to you January's Donde Esta? Or where are they now? Gusari Gamma. Donde Esta? Gusari Gamma is a 3-mana artifact from the original Kamigawa block. I'd like to bring this card back onto the Goldfish site just for a second. Kusari, except it's tough to say Kusari. I want to get a little bit of a longer term look at this beauty here. Going back, see, we got some spikes here that we won't get to see this on the stock article. So this is the place where we tie it all together for you folks. We tie it all together. We put it into a little bit of a bouquet, into a bit of a, a cake. We bake it. We bake the cake. We make it nice. We put it together. We track the price. Stock price. This card, Kamigawa, going back to 2014, was sitting around $2 or $3 all the way until we hit this point right here. Then we took a poke up in price around 2022, probably with the printing of some new card that gave us some amazing tech. The sucker hit $14 and it's been on a downward trajectory, trying to hit Brody in the backside of the head as he's doing the morning show. So if that seems real to you, let's check out more of this card. Give you a little bit of a background history. Decks using this card: Balin, a bunch of commander decks, Saskia the Unyielding, Uriel, Tiger Shield. So the latest Gusari, now sitting around $4, was as high as $20, almost 20, 14 I think it was the number. Let's get the newest card out of the way first. This equipment has the great ability and sees play in many different deck archetypes. It costs 3. Equipped creature has 2. This creature gets 1/0 until end of turn. So it gives it just about fire breathing. Nah. For colorless mana, whenever equipped creature deals damage to a blocking creature, Kasari Gamma deals that much damage to each other creature defending player controls. Wow, if you hit something, you hit it all. This is an interesting card. A beat stick from the Kamigawa deck. No doubt. It sees play in many different archetypes. Initially, the Kasari Gamma saw a spike in its price with the release of info about the then upcoming set, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. People flocked to get their hands on whichever cards they thought might make an impact on the format they love, while keeping an eye on whether the newest and brightest in the game. This card was caught up in all that. Let's have a sip of coffee this morning. Roll it, pat it, and mark it with a B. Put it in the oven for Brody and me. The coach is in the house. Good morning. I didn't go after, Dual Brain says he didn't go after any of the dark or any, as a big portion of the market did. I also, Yeah, so we can all breathe again. Bob is here. It's good to have you here with us this morning. I need you here on the stream. I do. Who went after a portion of the dark? I didn't go after the dark. I sort of sidestepped that one. I said, if people are going to start buying out cards from the dark, you guys can fill your boots. I've got most of my share, but there are a few things that I would like to still pick up. But let's keep on going with this Kusari Gamma. People flock to get their hands on whichever card they thought might make an impact on the format they love while keeping a weather eye on the latest and brightest in the game. This card was caught up in that hype. It saw a jump to $11.99 last year this time, and now meekly boasts a price of $3.97. It's clear that Kusari Gamma was not the best price for speculation in comparison to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty's set. Sorry, buddy. You're staying in my wife's equipment deck, forever gathering dust on the low shelf, waiting for her to finally get involved with Mistress Magic. All right. This card is it saw some price action based on speculation in the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. It's not held up. It's drifted down back to the $3 or $4 mark. Unfortunately, the Kusari Gamma didn't see too much action. If it had have worked well with a card like Goblin Chain Whirler or something, if it worked just a little bit better, like it might have seen some action. But that brings us to the next card on our list. The card from the dark. This is go. Let's go black border stuff. Frankenstein's Monster. I'll give you a disclaimer. One of my friends, the Freetreons, and I don't know if he's watching. If you are, Mr. Tyler Friesen, Tyler Harrison, rather. There's two Tyler Freetreons. There's two of you, but Tyler Harrison. Here's a card that Brody gave his Frankenstein's Monster up for adoption a long time ago to Tyler Harrison to keep a hold of for safe keeping because he was building a dark set. And I'm glad I did because it couldn't have gone to a better home. I'm glad I didn't buy list it. Here's a card that's near and dear because it's creepy and it keeps a little bit of storybook lore present in the game of Magic the Gathering. The monster, Summon Monster, is an interesting card that saw buyouts back when the dark was being gobbled up about 1 year ago, and the price kept pushing higher and higher as people cleaned out the vendor shops. And then this card saw a movement up into the right. Let's take a look. How high did Frankenstein's Monster get? Couple spikes. Yes. So all the way. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is some price manipulation. Watch out for this stuff. This stuff will get you. $300 spike, $200 spike. And like if I do this and just make this chart a little bit more zoomed in right here, this is what you folks would have been seeing around the time when this card was getting gobbled up. Now, we won't see the drifting down in price, but if I move it back like this, it actually looks like this thing might stabilize around 70 or 80 bucks, but it's not going to, simply because this card is it just doesn't have the legs that these people buying it wish it would. There's a lot of stock on this card. It's not as powerful as what people think it is. It's just collectible and it's a little bit unique and it's got lore. There's not a lot of synergy with this card. It doesn't get broken per se, but it is on the reserve list. So this support for this Frankenstein Monster in 2021 and 2022 again with these buyouts, it doesn't seem to be lasting because the card keeps drifting back down in price and it's back to that $20 level. Most of the vendor shops, even this $25 level doesn't exist anymore. Most of the vendor shops are selling used played copies for $7 or $8. So don't get caught up in every hype that comes along the way. If we move to the old school players for nostalgia slots, the Frankenstein Monster from the Dark is a cool little card from a set almost as old as the game itself. It holds a place among many long-term players' hearts, even if it sees infrequent play. Looking into it a little further, we're seeing that Arjun had to say last year is true. This card's price shot up due to its adjacency to Eater of the Dead, which was a card that got bought out. But last year it hit $82 and has now come back down to earth at a low price of $16. It's just that not many decks play this card and with fair enough frequency to bring the monster fully back from the dead. For now, it's gone to sacrifice itself to the same fire the modern Prometheus originally fell victim to. Frankenstein's monster, we love you for the lore and this old stuff. It doesn't get any better for card art by Anson Maddox. Unfortunately, this reserve list lore card, it's never really taken the legs that some people buying it may wish it would have. Buying the dark for buyout hopes won't work. There's so many copies of the stuff. I'm with Ed. Ed says, as a youngster, Bob says he never liked the dark. It does have that dark feeling to it. Mana Vortex is a thing that didn't go as high. Um, Dual Brain. The dark creeped me out when I was like 11 years old. Cards like Amnesia. I gotta say, that's sort of a feeling with the set in a general. It did put that dark overtone into the game of Magic, which really pulls a lot of people into the game. Now Wizards seems to be opening up, including Japanime characters. All celebrities are now doing Magic cards just to shill new products and power themselves up. It's really it's really quite interesting to see the depth to what people are willing to do to get themselves on a Magic card. Which brings us to the next card on this Where Are We Now article, the Eater of the Dead. Let's look at the longer term chart. We have to, because we want to see, we want a little, this is why we come here. We can't just read this with one piece of information. We need all the information. We need to look at the entire chart on Eater of the Dead. This is how, because we need to know what it is this article is talking about. Let's take a look here. Yes, Post Melon. Post Melon, Post Melon rotted away here on the stock desk. He'll be back though. We'll be could be bringing Post Melon back on the show here a little further on down the line. If you look at Eater of the Dead here, this price chart, it shows a spike up in price up to around $500, which is insane. Price manipulation. It looks like it sort of tried to get a little bit of support about the $100 to $200 mark. Unfortunately, this card isn't seeing any more support and keeps drifting down in price. Here we are sitting at around the whopping $15 mark, which is pretty much what it was sitting at before it got bought out. The vendor shops, you could pick it up, plenty of stock in house for 10, $11. It feels like whoever was trying to buy this card out has pretty much given up as the vendors start restocking and the near mint conditions have been cleaned out off the market. My physical excitement is here and is such that my I've been asked if I was cold because I'm shivering with excitement. The last time I looked up this card for a purchase was just after last year's spike, being $16 now in comparison to $91 it held this year. In fantastic hopes that those attempting to pick up this card a little more cheaply. Its ability to pay 0 to remove any creature from a graveyard is great. So this card has 0, take any creature from the graveyard, remove it from the game, untap Eater of the Dead. So this guy packs an untap ability that could be used with just about any enchantment that would tap a creature like Flame Slash or any attack step. You can untap this. If you've got any enchantments you want to put on this to activate the Eater of the Dead for value, then you can untap it for 0 by exiling a card. And the thing is, you can untap an untapped creature. So it doesn't matter if it's already untapped, you just keep untapping it. Let's check this out. Its ability to pay 0 to remove any creature card from a graveyard is great against Reanimator, and it's quite nice when added to cards that give you boons when a creature leaves your graveyard, like Thran Vigil. Whenever one or more artifact or creatures leave your graveyard during your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Or ones that allow you to tap or untap creatures or lands. The problem is that these abilities can't reliably be attached to Eater of the Dead in ways that they will with so-called easy or one-card combos. Though Eater of the Dead may be a perfect old school go-to card for nostalgia, it just isn't the best for comboing out for the win. So it's crept back down to a reasonable yet respectable price. It's not a game-winning card. One more card that's worthy to note that didn't make the headlines is Elvish Reclaimer. This guy, the Elvish boy that goes in lands, has actually seen a small increase in price since last year. And because we're all about giving you the best information, we want to give you this tip. It would seem that this one's not going anywhere soon and should be looked at for further speculation. This was big in lands. About a year ago, the meta for lands in Legacy, the Elvish Reclaimer was a card that saw a lot of play, and people and, and people maybe looking at the different meta types for legacy rather than lands. So we've sort of gone off of Elvish Reclaimer and lands altogether. Not a lot of people are playing lands as much as they have been. It's not so predominant in the format. Thanks again to Ryan Cole from Canton, Ohio. He gives a shout out to his wife, Julia, as he writes these amazing articles for us to cover. He's been in Magic since 1995, and he's freelance writing over at the stock desk pursuing all of his dreams. We wish all the merry dreams to you, Mr. Ryan Cole, out there. Thank you for writing an article for us to share with the viewers. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot for watching. Ryan Cole over at the stock desk, bringing us an interesting article that includes the Frankenstein's monster, Kusari Gamma, a card that I never even had my eye on. Eater of the Dead and Elvish Reclaimer. Pretty interesting couple of picks to see that these cards can fall from grace. This was the talk of the town 1 year ago. The Dark is getting bought out, Eater of the Dead and Frankenstein's monster and all these different cards from the Dark are getting bought out. Things are going crazy, but this is the other thing too that you got to keep in mind for any of those people that are new to Magic. All right? So for somebody to win, quite often somebody has to lose. And every year there's new players coming into the game. And if there's sets out there that Wizards is making that are appealing and shiny to new players, they're just going to want to open them irrespective of what's going on with the undertones of the company and the corporate policy that the company is pushing. New players just see how fantastic the game is and the shiny cards. And if you're new to Magic and you don't really understand the reserve list and these older cards and these old reprints, when you're looking at some of these stock charts, it's very easy to get some bad information. I'm telling you, if you look at some of these cards and you see, oh, look, Eater of the Dead is mooning at $200, $300, it's going to give you some bad information. And unfortunately, there's always somebody there willing to sell Timmy a copy of the Eater of the Dead for $200. There always is somebody who's willing to squig a new player with the shiniest, flashiest, spikiest card on the reserve list that goes up in price just to further their own benefit. So if you're new to Magic, watch out for that. If you don't like chasing and tracking and traipsing over the prices of Magic cards, let me do it for you. I'm doing it here each and every day. We're comparing past price trends and how they compare to the metagame. I'm going to have to get back in touch. Hit the like button. Oh, in Commander Raids, we all get to win. I did get to watch a little bit of this PvE format with MTG Gaming Bob over at the Pure MTG channel. It's pretty interesting to see people are creative. If you think that Wizards is the one wagging the dog, you think again. Commander is a player driven format, and every time things happen corporately that upsets players, people dig in, people get creative, and necessity is the mother of invention. We know it, it's a fact. People will always come up with new, amazing formats and ways to play the game that don't necessarily require to buy the newest sets, the newest packs, and the newest, shiniest cards. Why is Squander's Resources so inexpensive? It's a really powerful effect. Yeah, it's got a large print run in the set. For every Timmy that steps away from MTG, two new Timmys are born. Right? Yeah, this influx of new players. We do need a healthy influx of new players, but I'll tell you what. There's a couple of reasons that we need influx of new players, but new players need to be aware there are people, content creators, people who squig people, try and you know, take expensive cards off people's hands when they really have no value, and trade them for some 5/5s. So you got to watch out in the play environment. Watch out for those new players and take them under the wing. Show them how trading is done. Show them how to sort their cards. Show them how to look at cards objectively, and maybe not buy list anything hot out of a pack before they really even realize how it works. Release the noobs. Large print run set. Squandered resources. Well, you want to talk about squandered resources here this morning for a little bit? We can do that. Squandered resources is a card that used to actually be on the radar as a championship pro tour winning card. It was a card that was a finisher. It could make you mana when nothing else could. Squandered resources. Let's take a look here. Here's an interesting card from Visions. It's $24, as requested by Mr. Richie Dubs. The Visions card, I've got plenty of copies of this myself. It's $24. Is it trending up in price? What's the price on this card? $20. Hey, hey, hey. It's doing quite well. It was 5 and now it's 20. But let's see this enchantment. It's a black and a green. Sacrifice a land, add 1 mana of any type that sacrifice land could produce. So people would be playing this with black decks that use drain life in order to get that black mana. Tap and squander, tap and squander, tap and squander. So if you're trying to finish your opponent off with a really big X spell or a drain life, this is the card that you would use to do it, just to tap your lands and then sacrifice it for the 1 extra mana, essentially to finish it in the game. It leaves you quite vulnerable if you squander away all your resources, but if it's enough to get you there, it will definitely do the job. Decks that play graveyard recursion for lands, including the Crucible of Worlds or anything that allows you to play multiple lands from the graveyard, this can be a bit of an engine, especially in Commander. It could get a little bit better as time goes on. He traded sand for skins, skins for gold, gold for life, and in the end, he traded his life for sand. Afari Tales, an interesting card here on the channel. It also kind of, there's another card called Cadaverous Bloom, which is a Mirage card. It came around roughly the same set. It looks like this. Check this out. You want to make some black and some green mana with squandered resources. Try adding this to your collection for $6. Cadaverous Bloom. Exile a card from your hand. Add black, black, or green, green. Commander legal. So you just choose a card in your hand, exile it, get double black with this enchantment on the battlefield. It's also in the same colors as squandered resources. So if you want to make a bit more extra mana, if you have a way of making no max hand size, you can use this Cadaverous Bloom. It's also on the reserve list. Geez, this may just be one of the bottom 10 cards that no one cares about. How are you folks today? I really appreciate you folks for joining me this morning. What did the skeleton say when he tried to climb the mountain? Nothing. He didn't have the guts to do it. But we do. We have plenty to go around. Let's hit that list. Where are we going to go here this morning? Today's list, the movers and the shakers. If nobody's going to pick, I can pick myself. I really can. I need to hear from you folks. I'm tempted to hit the pioneer list. That's been a lot of fun these last couple of days. Let's do it. Unless we got some objections. I got to run actually commander list, but after all, it's the most popular format. I wish they had a straight up commander list, but this is part of the challenge of some of these websites and these tools that we have. They don't actually have a commander list. We just have it broken up. These are the tools that we've got here. We got the standard, modern, pioneer, pauper, and legacy. So what's going to happen is that we look at any one of these lists, any cards that are in that format will that are also in commander will come up. So we can take a list. Commander lists, we will definitely have some commander cards on all of these lists. I would say if we go to the all list, that's probably going to be mostly commander cards. Let's do the all list. It looks expensive. There's a few cards on here that I wouldn't like to cover. Let's just look at everything as a whole. That'll put the most expensive movers and the shakers on top of the pile here this morning. Let's do it. Let's run this list. Scrubland and dual lands finding its way onto the list with a 10% tick up in price. The alpha version going up $750 now. We're sitting on this hill. We're waiting for, if you're looking to pick up some dual lands, the bottom's not in. We got like another 6 months before we see price moving one way or the other. So maybe you want to get yourself a copy of the Scrubland for your Orzhov deck, but this is not necessarily the one for you at $9,000. This is a limited edition alpha. This is a collectible version. I wouldn't suggest playing it just for the simple fact that it is the very first printing of the card and it's more of an investable. Reanimator's playing Scrubland. The Epic Storm. I want to see this card in Legacy and all the rest. Atraxa. Okay, here, yeah, Storm. It's just called Storm. But you can get your. Let me see. What's the revised edition Scrubland? $335. So if you're looking for a scrubby, this is maybe getting close to the time to do it. Look at this price action moving left to right. It's been pretty steady. Now look at trends here. Let's take a look at this. This looks interesting to me. So I want to take a look at these leg ups, right? what I kind of find interesting right now is the time period between leg ups, meaning right here and right here and right over here. Now, this time period seems to be suspiciously around the same amount of time. Now, I know everybody's hoping and praying that we're going to see some actual changes over at the Wizards desk. Yo, bro, 6969. God sent me here for you. Cool. What's up, yo, bro? Yo, bro? I'm looking for the yo, bro. So the time period between these spikes here and these legs up, it seems to be relatively similar. Now, looking for the yo, bro. uh, so the time period between these two leg ups is actually very similar. Let's have a look here. I'm just going to change the color of my really epic pen. So right here we've got January 20 just 2018 and then to 2021, so a 2-year period, and then 2021 to 2023, another 2-year period. Now I know we're always hoping that there's going to be some changes over at Wizards, and they're going to stop abusing the players and printing too much product. But this 2-year cycle, this is sort of what we've been talking about, is that this ship doesn't steer very quickly. If we're on a particular course and a certain business plan that's been stamped and put in front of shareholders and it's already set in motion, this cycle is going to continue for some time. It could be another 2 years. Like, look here. But we see the price of these dual lands just sort of drifting east to west, left to right. So this thing might just come in to about the $285 mark or end up settling a little bit lower than it is already now. See this east to west price action. It's probably, with the current trends, we would think that in an ideal market where everything is sound and everything is good and Wizards is making good decisions that players can support and get behind, and we're just marching forward into the next set, like all, and we're supporting it, that this would be right about the right time to see another tick up in price in these dual lands. Say like another commander set comes out that does really well, this would be likely the case. But in this market, I'm not so sure. I am convinced that we're probably going to see things moving down and to the right for the next possible period of time, including all the dual lands and all these original ABU duels. So that's why we're going to wait a while. I would want to wait to see if we can beat out this last east-west price trend, because in order to have some strength behind this card, it's going to have to beat out the last east-west price trend, which lasted 2 years. So this isn't even into its 2-year bit. Two people I would not go out of my way to look at. uh so let's see. Decks using it: Reanimator in Legacy, Storm in Legacy, and then Commander all the rest of the way. The most popular format. These dual lands are staples in Revised. You could get a used copy for $244 for a scrubby right now. No near mints available, up to as high as $350. Maybe wait a while. There's people, like, when you hear people, oh, I'm giving up in Magic. Like we said earlier, for every 2 Timmies coming into Magic, there's one leaving. And then for every one person getting out of Magic, there's hopefully one staying in Magic. So what's the difference between what's the opposite of capitalism? All right. The opposite of capitalism is capitulation. So when you see people saying, I give up on Magic, and they're selling out their cards, because this is what's going to happen, folks. And this is the hill we're willing to stake our claim on. We got people exiting Magic. People are going to start turning cards into the vendors for money, for cash. We saw the buy list closed once locally here in Canada last year, where they said we're not accepting any more buy list submissions for cash, trade only. Okay, so that could happen again if this gets so bad where people aren't willing to open up their wallets and get money out for the next set. And if people hold the line and there's not enticing enough for just new players who don't know what are going on to just buy it, we're going to see more people who are quitting and turning their cards over to stores. If they're going to give them cash, they're just going to say, we're out. There's been a lot of people walking away from what I can understand. And then the inventory levels of these cards, like these dual lands, is going to grow. Okay, so like right now, there's plenty available. There's 10 available on Card Kingdom. If there's 10 on Card Kingdom, there's at least that on eBay. So there's plenty of stock in the market. But as these numbers start to increase, the inventory numbers start to increase, it's going to give us more of an indication of how many copies of these high-end ABU duels the vendors are sitting on. And then if it continues to go in our favor, people start just hold the line. Eventually, those stores are not going to get the product support with that they need from Wizards, because they're going to be selling secret layers and singles direct to consumer. We're going to see stores with this high level of inventory of these old ABU duels start to have super high end sales on vintage and legacy cards, and we're going to pick them up on discount in the fall. So that's what I'm saying. Anybody who's looking to pick up a Scrubland, which is at the top of the list today, maybe wait a while. We're gonna wait a while. If you're looking to pick up any OG duels, I wouldn't be touching any until we see those inventory numbers come up, and we're gonna see the price continue to drift, and you're gonna pick things up on sale. Gaming Bob says the thing about financial values of cards for Commander player is there is no urgency to buy any cards, so the Commander players can be more patient than other formats. That's a very good point. Very good point, and that's something that Commander has done for me. It's great therapy to have a deck that you're like, you know what, this deck is just a rock. It's just going to sit there. I can upgrade it. I can downgrade it whenever I want. I appreciate that comment, MTG Gaming Bob. So if you're still looking for some OG duels to round out your commander deck, you could wait a while and quite possibly get something better, right? Like there's no rule saying Wizards can't print a scrubland that taps for a black or a white and gains you a life. They could print a better card, in which case that's going to keep pushing the price of those OG duels and those reserve list cards down, and become more. The longer you wait in this scenario, given the market information we have, the better. Here's a card I like. Precons are a fantastic way to ease into the format. I finished my third commander deck just last week, Zombles. Dual Brains got to go. Have an excellent day. Let us know, have you got any videos coming up that we should be paying attention to? Any premieres coming up over on the Dual Brain channel? What have you got cooking for us in the world of Dual Brain content? We hope there's something that's going to be coming our way soon. Let me check this card out. Verdurian Enchantments. This is the original Enchantress, okay? There's the alpha version, and I'm going to get into the beta version here because I wouldn't be surprised if the beta version listed for more. Where are we here? Beta 1199. Insane. Insane. I don't know why this card is so high in alpha and beta, just because it's a rare. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. Alternatives to this in an enchantment deck are the Mesa Enchantress, but this card is going to be, see, the Mesa Enchantment is just white. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. If you're looking for something cheaper and an alternative in Celestia, the Mesa Enchantress can get you there, but if you need to build that Enchantress archetype where you need as many activations of card draw as you possibly can get, maybe this is the way to do it. You could combine this with a copy of, if you're running black, you could play this in a green-black enchantment deck with the Cadaverous Bloom, the card that we just showed, where you can cast an enchantment, draw a card, then pitch a card to make mana, helping you cast another card, which draws you a card and increase your cyclability of your engine. There are plenty of other cards that draw off of enchantments, but this is the OG, and this is why it fetches a little bit of a premium. The prices on this, now I just want to take a look back here. Like, look at the levels on this. This is an odd chart. This chart, it looks different than any of the other ones. It's slow to rise and it's slow to, slow to do anything. And that's because there's not a lot of sales on this card, and there never is. In fact, we can go change this to the beta version, which I'd like to, just so you folks can see. Now, Brody hit, this is another thing here. Brody, I'll tell you a little secret. Brody has 2 copies of this Verduran Enchantress, okay? So let's go back, and Brody's been buying cards for a while. Let's go back and look at some of these price spikes. And I'm going to tell you, here's a strategy that's worked for me in the past, but it's risky as pho, and it doesn't always pay off. You see this price spike here, and then there's a price spike here, and then there's a price spike here, and they're insanely large price spikes. Like, these are 57,000, 62,000, and 7,800. There's even a small spike right here that pales in comparison, $1,300. But if you want to get if you watch the prices of Magic cards like I do, you get up every morning, and Brody, let's scale this chart back before, so we can really appreciate the Enchantress here. So let's scale this chart back to the very first price spike to see what we would have seen before we have all this like other data here, right? So let's go back. We hit the Wayback Machine to 2018. Brody wakes up in the morning, and it's Dominaria United, and Brody is like, yes, I'm going to my LGS. I'm going to pick up a pack of Dominaria. Then Brody wakes up one morning, and boom, I see this beta version of the Enchantress at like $1,000. I'm like, holy smokes. So I go looking, and when these prices spike, if it's something that I think is like, I would want to get, I look to see if I can buy a copy if anybody has it listed on eBay and hasn't changed their pricing since the thing went up on these charts. Now, there could be several things driving the price on these charts. Could be straight up speculation. Maybe somebody bought a graded one. Maybe there's wash trading where somebody bought and sold one to themselves, or maybe somebody just posted one with a pricing error. Instead of $572, it was $57,000. Regardless of that, Brody woke up and bought 2 copies. Like, somebody had 2 copies of the Verdant Enchantress in beta for like a couple $100. And I was like, okay, well, obviously they're not watching these charts because the price just spiked for some reason. Then a little while later, boom, it hit $3,000 for some reason. Now, it's not worth that kind of money. It isn't. That's price manipulation. If you want to get it from the vendor store and you want to just check reality, check to see what the vendor shops are selling at, $479. But these can be really, really slow to change their pricing. I have snagged cards like this before they actually move up from vendors. An example of that would be this card, as well as the Sorceress Queen. Cards that now there's only 2 of them, but when they see a spike on the stock chart, like this, people don't move their prices because they think it's an anomaly. Then time goes on, and it turns out it's a viable card. Now, it's nowhere near $50,000 like this chart is showing us. So if you see that, don't get excited. Don't let it panic you. Don't let it do anything other than appease your eyes and give you something to look at. You got to dig down a little deeper into these. So I did pick up 2 copies. It has been doing the same thing. There's something that goes on with this card that for some reason there's either a group of people buying it and selling it. It's a pet card for somebody who likes it. It tends to always see price action, and it never seems to sell on eBay or the vendors for what it is listed for on this price chart. So be aware of that. There's also unlimited versions or revised versions. It's not a reserve list card. There's cheaper versions of it, but it is a namesake card for an Enchantress deck. Don't overpay for this card. Animate Artifact. All right. What do we got here? Animate Artifact. Number 3 off the top. 433% increase. 3 alpha cards hitting the top. If you're looking for long-term investables that you're not going to play with, the alpha cards are probably where you want to be. If it's something that's just going to sit in a box or in a slab, the problem with this chart is that this doesn't include, it doesn't stick the distinction between, oh, a graded animate artifact sold for $400. So the one sold and that pushed the price up, except that there's only a few graded ones in the market. So that may not necessarily give us the best price accuracy when it comes to alpha cards, because the graded ones will always push the price higher than what the market mean is doing. This card, it says, as long as enchanted artifact isn't a creature, it's an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its mana value. There's arguably ways, it says enchant non-creature artifact on the original one. There's arguably ways that are better to bring your artifacts to life, like March of the Machines or Titania's Song. But if you're, or even Cyberdrive Awakener. So this is really expensive for what it does. But if you're playing an artifact animation build, you probably want to keep one copy of this in your collection, nevertheless. Alpha version, collectible, $800. If you want one copy available over at the vendor shop, and there's definitely a few heavy played copies for in and around $100. Is it rare? It's an uncommon, so alpha uncommon. Let's take a look at Brain Geyser. Here's a card that's targetable for a buyout. The unlimited version, this is an original Brain Geyser card draw spell for X. This used to be a win condition. Game getting late in the game, and you guys are down to less than half your library, and all your mana's on the battlefield, and you want to just deck your opponent out and just end the game right then and there. Here's a card that can do it. It's also available in revised. The revised copy is likely the one that will be targeted if people can buy out mint condition copies of it. $22 for this sucker. And it's trending down in price again. It was as high as $80 during Kaldheim. So there's 3 cards that I want you folks to keep in mind. There's the Brain Geyser, Copy Artifact, from Revised, and Wheel of Fortune. So if you're new to Magic and you want to know which are the three most recent printings of the reserve list staples that are only found in revised along with the dual lands, these are them. Wheel of Fortune, Copy Artifact. Oh, it's now drifting down to about $62. And Brain Geyser. 3 reprintable or 3 reserve list cards that got reprinted and revised that are quite possibly the best targets from revised for reserve list buyouts. I don't know if we're going to see any new money coming into the game where anybody's willing to put it where their mouth is and take a bite out of any of these cards on the reserve list. Our reserve list buyouts are done. Who knows? We'll see. Only time will tell. Crystal Rod. Here's an alpha card. This is set collecting. A lot of people trying to finish sets right now, I would imagine. Whenever a player casts a blue spell, you may pay 1 if you do gain a life. I guess the rods can be played in Commander. Dex using it? Krenko, Mob Boss. No way. There's no way Krenko is using. Maybe he is. Maybe there's no way Krenko is using it. Krenko? No. Crank. It's a red deck. There's no way Krenko's using it. That's got to be a mistake. Wall of Brambles. Oh my gosh, this card's so bad. It's not even playable. This was like the wall you would get in the uncommon slot that you thought, what did I do to get something so bad? A 2/3 wall with regenerate. What else? When chaos draws all forces inward to shape and a single leaf. All right, let's check this out. Nothing crazy here. Nothing here crazy to see. This is just a 2/3 wall of brambles. Uncommon, because it's limited edition alpha, it's definitely going to seek a little bit of a price command, a fairly hefty price. Only one available. Huh. Griswold Dreadsower and Miri Weatherlight Duelist. Are these regeneration decks? Are we playing it in Commander? Is anybody playing this card? I can't see it. How can a card so bad? Wall of Brambles. Wall of Roots, Wall of Vines, Wall of Brambles. Yeah. We're we're playing Wall of Brambles. Okay. Regenerate. Regenerate's pretty good. It's a good reason they went away from it. It's really hard to get rid of things that have regeneration on it. It's not a mechanic we plants. That's why Grimswold Plants by Gnome Gnome and Ogre. So if you're playing a plants deck, plant tribal. There you go. That's where it's played. At the beginning of your end step, each player creates a 1/1 green plant token. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Grismold the Dreadsower. Okay, well, for no other reason than the fact that it's a plant, this card is played in Commander. That is awesome. Wall of Brambles is awesome. It's a 2/3. It hits, right? Hard wall to get past. It really is. I always wanted something better. Like, you can't attack with it, but Coach is smarting me up here on the Wall of Brambles. He says, Wall of Brambles is awesome. Get your head right, Brody. All right, well, brambling on and rambling on is the Brody. What's this island for $1,000? There's no way. All these alpha cards, all on the all list today with the movers and the shakers list. All these collectibles. These are the guru lands by the looks at basic land, guru land. If you're sorting through a land box and you ever see a land with this art on it with black border, grab it. Right? Look at these lands. If you ever see, then this is a general thing. If you ever happen to be sifting through lands and you see this sort of art on a land in a box where it's got this sun, moon art, and then like this arcing sort of a rainbow sunrise sunset pattern. If you see this on a land with this set symbol in a bulk bin in a land box, grab it. It's a guru land. Guru land? Is that what it is? Yeah, that's what they call them, a guru land. These are limited edition Therese Nielsen. This one, art lands, is worth $1,000. Holy smokes, who ever thought a land could be so much money? But yeah, these are sought after, these guru lands. They're worth quite a bit of money. Is anybody selling them? $971. So the tell of the tale, if you're looking through bulk bins of lands, look if you ever see something and if it's got this type of art on it on a land, just grab it, even if it's even if it's $1. Hey, how much are these lands? Oh, everything's in the land box is free. Take it with you. If you're you're probably not going to find that at a card store, but at a collectible store or any store that has bulk that you ever want to let your fingers do the walking, that is something that you might be able to find. Coach loves the walls. Yeah, Guru lands are super expensive, right? I know. I never had a Guru land. I never saw the attraction of it. I don't know why people will spend so much money on it. But it could be just for the art. Benson says I just sold 200 lands the Car Kingdom for store credit. Most of them worth less than 10 cents, but they are all add up. I am currently buy listing at Card Kingdom as well. So I'm getting the shotgun shells ready to go. I'm going through the collection. I'm offering anything to friends that are looking for stuff for trade first and foremost. So I'll go to friends in the play group with the buy list box and then see if anybody's looking for anything out of there. And then I'll be likely shipping it off to Card Kingdom. Now, I was talking to Ed, the dual brain, the thinkingest man in the game. Now, he had an interesting proposition for anybody who doesn't want to just vendor their cards to a card store and then find out they don't have inventory. I like Card Kingdom because they generally have high inventory, but if you're looking for, got my serious hat on, my serious face on, if you're looking for specifics like an mint condition Arabian Nights card or a mint condition Legends card or a very specific card that you're buy listing for it, then it's worth checking the vendor's stock on those cards before you decide where to ship your buy list. If you are looking for, let's say, a mint condition Guardian Beast, all right. So or it could be anything. Wouldn't you rather check to see what the vendor stock is at two or three stores? Find the one that has the best condition because a card like that's probably not going to sell very quickly, right? So if you're looking to trade into something higher end, or even you want to get yourself the dual lands, I can see people getting played copies, no problem. But if you're a collector and you're looking to get a high end copy of, say, Elephant Graveyard, I want a really good copy of this Arabian Nights rare. It's worth checking two or three vendors before you send your stuff in to decide later that you sent it to the vendor that has the rough copies. So just keep an eye out. Maybe do be a little selective to where you send them first. If you're looking for something specific, that's just one tip that I can pass on to you folks here today. Sell your original Jumpstart bulk. Jumpstart expensive. Guru lands are expensive due to the ultra rarity. Ultra rare. It's like I could see Wizards introducing something beyond mythic. Ultra mythic. Skithic. Wall of Ice. Here we go. Check this card out. 1 green and 2 for this 0/7 wall. Can attack. Who's playing it? Arcades Strategist is playing it. You want to get yourself a wall of ice? Oh my gosh. Just head north to the Canadian border. You get yourself a wall of ice. Here's another interesting thing I liked about these Richard Thomas arts is that if you look, there's actually an avatar. There's actually a person in this wall. Can you see the person behind the wall? If you didn't know that already, all these, if you look at the wall of fire, the wall of ice, there's actually a character right inside the wall here. If you didn't notice, there they are. They're already there. The wall of fire does the same thing, and all the walls by Richard Thomas have a hidden effigy inside the wall. Interesting card. This is the wall that separates Canada from the rest of the world. Sea Serpent, the wall of ice. This is a card, a 5/5. It seems bad for a common, but, it could be played in Pauper, I guess. Can't attack unless the pending player plays islands. If you have no islands, sacrifice Sea Serpent. Nobody's using it, but these are all alpha cards. People who are finishing off sets. There was a time when Brody just went down the vendors list and bought copies of all the alpha commons. They were pretty cheap. Long term, here's a card that you could actually not do too bad on. It was 14 or 15 bucks just a few years ago. It's double in price. I could see it doubling again in the next 5 years where other cards like from more recent sets won't. I think I talked to MTG Gaming Bob. If you're a collector, somebody who wants to like hold long term, just get the alphas and hold on to the card because that one is likely going to be the one that just steady over time, no matter with reprints and where the game goes, it will always be worth something. So set collectors are going to want to pick up a copy of this common if they can get it in mint. I'm surprised there isn't some graded ones. There is. You can get a near mint 8.5 alpha 8.5 here on eBay for 135 bucks. That's crazy. Sea Serpent works with Runo Stormkirk, Commander. Let's check him out. Runo. Benson. See, this is why we need the Benson in the channel. Runo Stormkirk. Here we go. When Runo Stormkirk enters the battlefield, put up to one target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card. If a creature card with mana value 6 or greater is revealed this way, transform it. All right, we need a 6-drop. And then what do we get? Crothus, Lord of the Deep. Whenever Lord of the Deep attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of another target attacking creature. That creature is a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent. Create 2 of those tokens. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Benson, my friendson. Thanks a bunch. Appreciate that. Those wealthy people will bling out their decks just because they can. Why is Wall of Ice green? I don't know. I thought it should be blue, myself, personally. That's a good question, Benson. I don't know. But I didn't realize this Runo Stormkirk has actually got some synergy with the Serpent. He's got to be a commander. Yeah, Runo Stormkirk is a commander. Sea Serpent has synergy with it. It's 6 or greater. It seems like Wizards can just go print a new OP commander that'll make some old common from Alpha worth money again. Make Sea Serpent great again. Well, here's a card. Who knew it? I'm one smarter today. Thanks to you folks for joining me here. I appreciate you. The energy can never be created to destroyed, and information not shared is energy wasted. So I appreciate you folks for joining life with me here this morning to talk some tech about the Sea Serpent. And we're going to bring it up to the last card on our list as we come in a little closer to towards the end of the show here for you folks. I'm really going to bring you a card that I love it. Prime 406 Games is in the house. This card, and I'm wondering what we can do with this card. Morning. False Orders is an instant from Alpha. Now, I like this card simply because of what it does. It's strange. It does shenanigans. And if there's one thing Brody likes, it's shenanigans. Let's check it out. Cast this spell only during your blocker step. Okay, why do we want to do that? It's instant speed. Can we play it? It's not banned anywhere, is it? Commander legal. Brawl not legal. Vintage legal. Legacy legal. So it's legal in all formats. It's also legal in Pauper because it's a common. Remove target creature defending player controls from combat. Creatures it was blocking that had become blocked by only that creature this combat become unblocked. You may have it block an attacking creature of your choice. So you get to reorder blockers. It's a surprise card, the original combat trick. The False Orders is something that is a namesake card. It's popular. Let's see where the decks are playing it. Edgar Markov. It's popular in the Edgar Markov deck. Edgar wants to give out some false orders. Whenever Edgar Markov attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each vampire you control. So if you want Edgar to get through and not suffer lethal damage, you want to play the false orders to reorder blockers to make it advantageous. Any creature that gets an attack trigger that you're, worried about your opponent just chump blocking with something, just chumping it with something bigger and eating it. The False Orders is a card that plays tricks. It's like plays tricks on a fella's mind. Runo also makes Master Thief great to take your opponent's stuff. Oh, check this. MTG Bob says, I'd love to get to spend more time with you in person. Brody, absolutely. If I can see my way clear, this year is going to be a little bit tight for the bro. For sure. It's going to be a trying year as we hit the bottom of this. Let's just bring it up for your famous chart, the chart we like. Let's check it out. We're heading into we're coming up off the bottom, folks. We're heading into the lowest of the low of the market right now. We're really traipsing through the muck and the sludge that is in the game of Magic the Gathering. Lots of people have given up. You can see them. You look in your rearview mirror there. They've given up on things altogether. Don't quit on me now. We need you here on the channel. We do. We're right in the bottom of the basement. We've looked at this chart. Periods when to make money, right? We're right at the bottom here. See, times of hard times, low prices, a good time to buy stocks, corner lots, and goods. Hold until we reach the boom, which is going to take 3 years to come up to 2026. But you know, I appreciate all you folks and fans of Magic the Gathering for sticking it out with me. Brody's going to be here for the long haul. We've anchored in. We've dug in deep. We got Richie Dub, MTG Gaming, Bob, Prime 406, Michael Superbacker, the coach. Thanks for everybody for coming to the show here today. We've got a new viewer today. I want to say thanks for you for tuning in. 696969 Pro. If you're out there, thanks for shooting me a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that brotification bell. Twiddler's in the house. Ed from the Dual Brain channel. Richie Dubs. And Benson. All friends of Magic the Gathering. We're gonna stick it out for another few. So this year I don't know how much traveling we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be hunkering down, battening down the hatches, doing a little bit of buy listing, ready to pick up some stuff, goods, Magic related goods in the market while we're in a year of hard times, and we're gonna ride this. I'm on a boat, yo! I'm on a boat. If my mom can see me now, we're gonna ride this sucker to the moon somehow. I'm on a boat. Brody is on a boat here, getting ready to ride this up all the way up to 2026 and a new all-time high. Cops are at the door. They're onto us. They see we've cracked the code when it comes to the market and making money and getting the fund into our Magic the Gathering collection and making the most. They want to shut this stuff down, but don't let them. Hit that brotification bell so you get all the brotifications. We'll be bringing you the morning show, 5:15 Mountain Time, 7:15 Eastern Standard Time, each and every morning, Monday through Friday. Thanks again for tuning in, folks, and we'll talk to you again real soon. We're checking out Guru Land today. Wall of Brambles. A bunch of alpha stuff on the list. If you're an alpha collector, maybe the alpha hoarder will tune in. Safe adventures, folks. This is your host, Brody. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
I'll come bail you out of the big house. Thanks, Michael. Does anybody have 4 pouncing jaguars? Oh, I gotta look at this card. Maybe I need it. Some Echo cost. Are you getting ready to pounce there? Do you know something we don't, Benson? I don't have the Jaguars. Sure, you weren't just like substituting reality into a dream. Crazy.